Good morning. This is Steve Hacker in greenhakka English Classroom, Sendai, Japan. How are you today? Happy New Year. Sorry I haven't had time or have been unable to do any more video lessons for a while. We had a baby. Well, it's not really an excuse, but our baby is 9 months old and we traveled a little bit. We were able to travel to Italy. Anyways, I'm going to continue with the connected speech lesson. And last time, my video, I was just watching the old video and my phone rang. So I'll continue from there. About this, we're continuing with connected speech and sentence rhythm in North American pronunciation. So function words here are basically nouns and verbs are function words, okay? So that means nouns and verbs are going to carry the most stress. And stress in words, word stress is going to be louder, longer, and higher. So when you speak a word and you want stress, you say it louder, you speak it longer, and you use a higher tone as opposed to low, high. So stress words are higher, okay? They're higher, louder, and longer. Anyways, I'm going to take a few moments to tell everyone where I'm coming from. This is Peter Avery and Susan Ehrlich's book, Oxford University Press, Teaching American English Pronunciation, published a long time ago. Let's see, 6th impression, 1997. Okay, and this is another one I'm using by, what's her name? Barbara Wackel. She was my pronunciation teacher at Vancouver Community College. Okay, and that's 1999. Okay, so a lot of the things I'm talking about when I talk about American pronunciation, a lot of it comes from here, and well, not all of it, but some of it, and then I just make my own. But today I'm going to use her example on stress time nature of English. Okay, so let's take a sentence. Birds eat worms. Okay, birds eat worms. How long did that take? Do you have a stopwatch? Eh? Birds eat worms. I don't have a stopwatch. Now these are function words. Okay, we have a noun, we have a verb, we have a noun. Birds eat worms. They all carry stress. Now we start putting some smaller words in here. So the bird, that's our big ovals, right? Remember the ovals and the small circles? Okay? My screensaver goes on sometimes here. Now this is a small circle. The birds eat worms. Next we'll put the worms in here. Small circle. The birds eat the worms. Now, these two words I say so quickly, okay, because they're not function words. We're going to speak these ones much quicker. They do not carry any stress. Let's put another one in here. Will. The birds will eat the worms. The birds will eat the worms. Let's change it again to will have. And then we'll put eaten. Okay? The birds will have eaten the worms. The birds will have eaten the worms. The birds will have eaten the worms. What I'm trying to say is that birds eat worms should take the same amount of time to say as the birds will have eaten the worms. So if you have a stopwatch, you could time them both, and they should be about the same, because the nature of English is a stress timed language, so that we stress the function words. Birds eat worms, and then these ones we speak so quickly that the timing should be about the same in both. Anyways, that's how I was supposed to finish my last lesson. I'm just going to erase all this. As long as we know the function words, because I'm going to say it again, the function words are nouns and verbs, and we'll be coming back to that. Those are the words that we stress, nouns and verbs. Okay? So today there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are about 5 parts of connected speech. The first one we're going to do is called reduction. Okay? And reduction comes from the root reducer. We'll just say reduce. Okay? Reduce means to make less, to make smaller. Okay? And in pronunciation, we reduce sounds to make them simpler. And we only reduce, we never reduce function words. We never reduce stress words. We only reduce words that do not carry stress. Okay, and let's look at some of the words we often reduce to, for, can. Okay. Let's look at some of, these are some examples here. How do we reduce them? Well, we're going to reduce them to this sound. This sound is a schwa. It's called a schwa. And it sounds, very simple sound to make. It sounds like this. It's a very basic sound. There's not a lot of muscle involved. Your mouth is relaxed, your tongue is in a natural position, and you just breathe out with voice. Okay? And we reduce vowels, okay? We're always reducing vowels. So these vowels here are going to be reduced. Okay? So to reduces to t. For reduces to fur. Can reduces to kun. Oops. Yeah, that's right. It depends. If can's a question, we don't reduce it. Can you help me? Can you? Oh wait. Can you help me? Yes, it does. Sorry. I can help you. Okay? Sorry. Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? Which one do you hear? Okay, we're going to look at some of these examples. Let's look at a sentence. Now here's a sentence. How would a non-native speaker say this? He can talk for hours. He can talk for hours. Okay. And how about a native? He can talk for hours. He can talk for hours. Where does reduction take place in that sentence? Where does reduction take place? He can talk for hours. We're going to write it with this symbol. He can talk for hours. 2 places, okay? Remember, we only reduce the small words. Can. He can talk for hours. For. He can talk for hours. Okay, these places here are reduced. This is a noun. This is a verb, right? This is a pronoun. This is a subject. Okay, so we're not going to reduce our function words. Excuse me. Okay, let's look at another example. Just a moment. I want to push pause here. Oh, I don't know where the pause button is. Okay. Just my screensaver goes on. I have to play around with that. Okay, let's look at another. I'm going to erase that. I hope you had it written down. All my students are taking notes in this classroom, I tell ya. Okay. All right. I'm taking another example from the book because I haven't had time to prepare for this video lesson. I just decided to do it today. I got 71 people watching the last two ones. I can't believe that. 71 on number 1, 71 number 2. Wonder how number 3 if I'll get that. This is a true sentence. Last night I had a lot of work. Last night I had a lot of work. That's how a Japanese person, a non-native person would say it. They would speak it slowly and clearly. Right? They're using the rules called syllable time. Right? But English is stress time, so we don't use those rules. We say what? Last night I had a lot of work. Last night I had a lot of work. Where are the reductions? Where do we write the schwa? Where can I reduce these sounds? Last night I had a lot of work. Now this is a verb. Remember, we reduce the vowels. That's a verb. Last night I had a lot of work. Last night I had a lot of work. Last night I had a lot of work. Reduction. Okay, work is work. This is all. I'm not going to reduce that. It's always going to make this sound. O-R, I-R, they're always like this, eh? O-R, I-R, U-R, O-R, I-R, U-R. They're always written in IPA like that, okay? Or like this, something like that, okay? They all sound the same. O-R, I-R, and E-R too, sorry. E. How do we do E? Okay? Here's your 3 reductions. 2, sorry. Last night I had a lot of work. Actually, some people will reduce this even. Last night I had a lot of work. Last night I had a lot of work. I had a lot of work. I had a lot of work. A lot of work. Now this I can go right into. My screensaver's on. I can go right into the next step, which would be linking. Okay, linking. Number 1 is reduction. I'll do linking next. Okay, here's a good example of linking here. Okay, because I had a lot of work. Okay. Anyways, that's linking, but I don't want to go into that too much yet. Let's do another example of reduction. Okay, another sentence. How much more time do I have? Oh, this is a long one. I got 15 minutes now. Okay, we'll do just one more here. Let's see if your back's better. That's what the doctor said to me last week. Let's see if your back's better. Let's see if your back's better. Remember, where do we reduce? Okay, we don't reduce verbs, we don't reduce nouns, okay? Let's see if your back's better. We always reduce vowels. We're going to look for the vowels, we're going to look for non-function words, and then we're going to see what reduces. Listen to the North American speaker. Let's see if your back's better. Let's see if your back's better. Slowly. Let's see if your back is better. Let's see if your back's better. Okay? There's only one that I can see right away. Your. Your becomes your. Let's see if your back's better. Okay? This is another example of connected speech. It's called a contractions. It's called a contraction, okay? I'm not going to go into contractions a lot because most people already know contractions. And they teach them in junior high school in almost every country, I'm sure. Okay? Let's see if your back's better. Do we have time for another one? No, we don't. Okay, that's it. See you next time.